Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing my eyeshadow palette collection slash declutter. I'm not really sure how many palettes I'm going to be getting rid of, but I did just count all of my palettes and I have 152 palettes. That is a lot. Last time I thought I had like 120 something. I haven't looked at my inventory count from last time I did one in the beginning of the year, so I've definitely accumulated a few palettes. I do have quite a few new palettes for me to use, but I do have 4 drawers of palettes, which I have the first 2 here, which are affordable slash drugstore, and then my higher end palettes are in this drawer and this one. So yeah, I need to go through my palettes, try to declutter a few. I'm not sure if I'm going to declutter a lot, so if you're hoping I do, I possibly will not be. So this is mostly a collection slash mini declutter because I do need to film my inventory video very soon. So yeah, if you want to see what palettes are in my collection, definitely continue watching. Also, if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe. I upload 3 times a week, Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, so definitely subscribe so you don't miss out. And let's just go ahead and jump right in. So I have the 6 new palettes I have in my new makeup drawer that I have not used yet. I have 3 of the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop palettes. So I have Cherry on Top, which looks like this. I also have Pistachio, which is this one here. And then I also did get blueberry gum, bubble gum, which is the blue palette. I kind of didn't want to grab this, but I don't have very many blue palettes in my collection. So when BH Cosmetics restocked these, I definitely picked up the 2 that I really wanted was Pistachio and Cherry on Top, and then I kind of threw this one in my cart because I don't have very many blue palettes. So those are the 3 palettes from the Sweet Shop I have. I also have the Sigma Untamed palette, but I haven't used these yet. Here is what this one looks like. Give Me Glow Juicy Olive palette I just got as well. A green palette here. And then I also got this. This is a Kristen Dominique transition palette. I actually got this for my freelance kit, but I saw the inside and I was like, oh, I kind of want to use it. So this is what this looks like. I think it'll be perfect for when I freelance, so I might use it and then put it in my kit just because I don't have anything planned for makeup, so I might put this in my kit depending on what I think of it or how unique it'd be in my collection. I have 152 palettes, so I don't know how unique it'll be, but I really like the Dominique Cosmetics formula. And then these 2 are newer in my collection. The KK Beauty Camel palette, which looks like this. Is very beautiful. This is definitely not going anywhere. I kind of feel like the lighting is dark. Let me see. Let me move you a little bit. Maybe this is better. So KK Beauty Camel palette's not going anywhere, as well as the Candy Skies Laura Lee times Erin. This is new to my collection. I just got this for my birthday from my friend, and I really like it. This is the first palette I've ever tried from Laura Lee Cosmetics, and I actually really like it. So these are not going anywhere. This is my ColourPop stuff. So the first palette here, I have the ColourPop Lush Life palette, which is beautiful. This is definitely not going anywhere. Lemoncello by ColourPop is also, or Lemoncello, whatever, is also very beautiful. The shimmers are nice, definitely keeping. Flutter by ColourPop, I've thought of decluttering. I think I'm gonna put this in my maybe pile and then compare it with something else I have in my collection. The ColourPop Good Sport palette, everybody has been looking for this palette and I think I still want to keep it, so it's staying. The ColourPop All That palette is really nice. I actually really like the packaging more than the shades in here. Like, I feel like all of these shades are too light for me. I might pick and choose some colors from palettes maybe that I may declutter from ColourPop and then like kind of switch it out, but I really like the packaging. I like these shades, but they're not that unique in my collection. These are really light, to be honest. Like, I don't need 3 light shades. I'm not sure. I'm gonna put it in the maybe pile as well. ColourPop a Flutter palette, right? Yeah, this is really pretty, so I am going to keep that. Kathleen likes the Zodiac palette. I keep going back and forth. I've thought about decluttering and then I've kept it. I think I want to keep it still, so yeah, it's staying. At Forest Sights, I don't know. The shimmers, there's only 2. but the palette was okay. I wasn't like in love with this palette, to be honest. But I think since it's newer in my collection, it just came out this year, I believe, I am going to keep it. Dream Street by ColourPop and Kathleen Lights. This is really, really good. So I think I'm going to keep this. You know what? I think I might just declutter the Zodiac palette, because honestly, I don't really reach for this palette a lot, and I kind of force myself to use it. So I think I'm going to declutter this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. So I've only decluttered one so far. Hocus Pocus Gather Around Sisters palette by ColourPop. Definitely not getting rid of this. I am keeping it. Next up, Garden Variety palette. This I have a love-hate relationship with. The mattes in here are not good, you guys. And I kind of don't reach for this palette, but I kind of want to keep it because I think it's pretty and I really like the packaging. As well as like this one from ColourPop, Chasing Rainbows palette. I like it, but I don't like all of the shades in here. So I think what I'm going to do is end up decluttering one. I might declutter this packaging, but go with both of the shades and pick and choose which ones I like, and kind of declutter the ones I don't like and go from there. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Like, I definitely want to keep like these shades. High Tide by ColourPop I really like, is not going nowhere. Honey, I really enjoy as well. I'm gonna keep. It's My Pleasure palette. It's really nice, actually. The shimmers in here are nice. I almost thought about decluttering it because I'm like, I have a lot of purples in my collection, but the shimmers in here are super, super nice. So I probably will keep it. I could declutter or like pick and choose shades, but yeah, I'm just gonna keep it. Really like the Main Squeeze palette. Definitely going to keep. The Ornate palette's actually really pretty, up my alley. Color Story, I really like the packaging also. It's really, really pretty. LA Colors Lemon Drops, pretty similar to Honey, but I think I want to keep it just because it's LA Colors, so I'm going to keep this. Last ColourPop palette is the So Jaded by Kathleen Lights. I really like this palette. It's really beautiful for the fall season. It's really, really nice. Definitely keeping. I've only decluttered 2 palettes, and I'm thinking about 2 palettes. Wow. Okay. This palette here by Bad Habit, After Dark, I don't really reach for, but this is definitely my Color Story here, but I am going to declutter. It's been at least 6 months and I haven't reached for it, so we will declutter that. The Pure and Raw Beauty Christie palette, I am definitely going to keep. I really like it a lot. It needs more love for sure. I think it's really beautiful. Maybe I'll pick this for next week's show, my stash actually. That sounds good. Keeping. Essence Never Give Up Your Daydream. I never reach for this, but I feel like it's really unique to my collection. It's an all shimmer palette, beautiful for lids or inner corner highlighting. I would declutter, but I am not. I'm going to keep it. This one by Nomad. I love the formula, but the Color Story doesn't, it speaks to me, but they're mostly kind of light. And they're kind of more satin finish. I don't know. I just feel like I wish I had like a darker brown and stuff like that. I definitely want to pick up another Nomad palette more up my alley. But I am going to be decluttering this one. Maybelline Soda Pop palette. I like this palette, but I don't really reach for it, to be honest. And if I do, I reach for these shades, which I definitely have in my collection already. So I think I'm okay with getting rid of this palette. This one here is really nice, a collab Best of the Day palette. This was like a mini modern renaissance, and I actually have taken this on a trip with me. I feel like it's the perfect, like, it has neutrals, it has the burgundy shades I like, it has a shimmer, a matte, a dark brown. I am going to keep this. I like it. I've taken it on a few trips with me, and I really enjoy it. This is the Blueberry Muffin by BH Cosmetics. I actually really like this palette. Super, super pretty. Definitely not going anywhere. This one by BH Cosmetics is a Weekend Festival palette, and I think I am ready to part ways with it. I do think it's a really beautiful palette, but I don't reach for more than half of the shades in here, so I am ready to just let go of this palette here. I will be okay without it. The BH Cosmetics Lunar New Year palette is beautiful. I did get this year, the beginning of the year. I think it's really, really nice, and I'm definitely going to keep. And the last 3 palettes in here. Okay, I have the Zodiac by BH, and I really like this palette, but I never reach for it. I've thought of decluttering it, but then I use it, and I really enjoy it So I am just going to keep it. And then the last BH palette in here is a Naughty palette. And this is actually really, really nice as well. I really like the shades in here. This is one of the newer palettes that I picked up this year as well. They're actually very pigmented too. So I am going to keep this as well. Last palette in here is by Makeup Revolution. This is the Unconditional Love palette. And I actually really like this palette, but I have so many palettes, so I think I am going to get rid of this as well. I actually really like this palette, but yeah, I'm just gonna get rid of it. I'll be okay without it. So this is what this first drawer is looking like. I do still have the 2 maybes, and then in that drawer I decluttered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 palettes. Yeah, I have 2 maybes and 7 decluttered from the first drawer. So let's go on to drawer number 2. First palette, I have all my Juvia's Place palettes right here, is the Berries by Juvia's Place. I actually think this palette is okay, and I am going to be decluttering this palette. Again, I think it's okay. I thought it was kind of hard to work with. The mattes are kind of dry in here, so I am going to declutter that. I keep going back and forth whether to declutter this one or not. I think this would be a really good everyday palette, but honestly, I have a lot of these shades in other palettes and I don't really reach for this, so I am going to declutter this one as well. The Nomad by Juvia's Place is staying in my collection. I really like the color story. No way am I decluttering that. I also have the Masquerade Mini. I did have the full size one, the regular size, and I decluttered that and I bought this little mini and I really like this palette, so I am not getting rid of this. The Warrior 2 by Juvia's Place is actually really nice as well. If you want an all matte palette, I think it's really, really good and I really enjoy this one. Also, not getting rid of the Try by Juvia's Place. I really love this palette here. It's super, super nice. The Deuce by, or Deuce by Juvia's, I have no idea. But I keep going back and forth whether to declutter this or not. I never reach for it though, and when I do, I think it's okay. So I think it's time to just go ahead and declutter this. Like, the only shades I really use are the nudes in here. And I have a lot of these shades everywhere else. I don't know. I'm going to put it in the maybe pile. I kind of want to keep it, but I do want to declutter it. So this is the Magic Mini by Juvia's Place. I actually really like this palette. And I actually decluttered it and I brought it back into my collection. And now I'm thinking I should declutter it. I think I am going to declutter it again. So I'm going to declutter this one. Why do I keep bringing it back into my collection? I think these are really nice. This shade, this shade, this shade. But I have like these mattes in every other palette. I have those kinds of colors. Yes, I'm going to declutter it. Violet Voss, All of You Forever. I think is a really good palette. I really only like these shades and these. I don't really use these green mattes, but again, I have all these shades in other palettes. I don't know if I want to declutter this or not. I just got it this year too, so I think I'm going to keep it. Makeup Geek, this is in collab with Manny, and I think a lot of these shades are not good anymore. I think I had decluttered it in my last declutter and I brought it in because I didn't want to declutter it. But I think a lot of these shades in here are not good anymore. So I do need to go through these and see if they're still pigmented. And if they're not, I'm going to have to get rid of this. So this is a half declutter, I think. LA Girl Main Stage. This is bomb. I am not getting rid of this. The shimmers in here are awesome. The mattes are okay, but the shimmers alone in here make this palette worth it. So definitely keeping. The NYX Swear By It palette. I really like this palette, but again, I feel like I don't need a palette with all of these colors in it, so I am going to declutter that. Lick and Lash Beauty, the Playful palette. This one definitely needs more love from me. This is so pretty. Look at all this beautifulness in here. I need to use this more for sure. I am definitely going to keep it. This is more of an indie brand. I haven't really seen much from them, but I'm definitely gonna keep it. These are my only 2 single shadow palettes. I'm keeping those. I had already decluttered them not too long ago. I'm gonna get rid of this. This is the Morphe 35M palette. This is actually one of my favorite palettes I do have, but I only really keep it for the greens, and I have a ton of green shadow now, so I am going to be decluttering this. I only have 2 Morphe palettes in my collection, which is this one and then the Jaclyn Hill one. which is right here. This is the OG first launch sold out and formula. And I don't really reach for it, but I do want to keep it just because I feel like it's an OG palette I should probably keep. So now I'm only down to one Morphe palette in my collection. This is the Made by Mitchell palette. How beautiful is this? Definitely keeping this. It's so pretty. Lethal Cosmetics times Teresa's Dead. The Lethal is Dead palette is okay, to be honest. I would definitely declutter this probably in the future, but since I just got it, I'm gonna keep playing with it and go from there. I'm not really a big fan of the Lethal Cosmetics formula, to be honest. I don't know. It's okay. It's not like, oh my god, it's so good, you need to get your hands on this formula. No, the one that is actually Shroud Cosmetics and also Menagerie Cosmetics. I would pick this formula more than Lethal. Like, I don't think I would buy any more Lethal Cosmetics, to be honest. But this is a Beauty times Shroud. It's freaking Bats palette. Definitely keeping this. It's not going anywhere. And the Feral palette by Menagerie is super nice as well. I really love the formula. The shimmers are super nice. The mattes are really nice as well. Definitely keeping. I really like this Hip Dot palette, the Zion palette. The color story is beautiful. Definitely keeping. Tiny Marvels by Sydney Grace is also very beautiful, very reflective, pigmented. The shimmers and mattes, they're amazing. Definitely keeping. Give Me Glow Vintage Rose is a very beautiful color story, and I feel like I get a lot of grungy looks with this palette. I wish I had like lighter shimmers in here, but overall I do like this palette. And the last three in here are Beauty Bay palettes. Okay, so I really love the color story in this palette, but my shimmer formula is not all that great. This is the Beauty Bay, the Book of Magic. Yeah, Book of Magic palette. My shimmers feel kind of dry. They don't feel creamy like everybody raves them to be. That one probably does, but I don't know. Even the mattes felt kind of dry to me. I think I want to keep it because I do think the color story is really nice, but I don't know. This may be something I might declutter next time. This formula is actually really nice, and it's also by Beauty Bay. This is a Me, Myself, and Mitchell palette, which I kind of forgot I had. The mirror comes off, but here are all the shades. I keep my little plastic in there. I think this is really great formula. This formula is way better than the Book of Magic, to be honest. Even the shimmers are nice. So I have these two purples there. I think I can declutter the Book of Magic, to be honest. I think the color story is pretty, but I just don't reach for this palette, and I don't think I will. So I'm actually going to just declutter the Book of Magic. I don't feel like the shimmers are that nice. You saw this first one wasn't as pigmented as that one, and every time I used it I didn't think it was that good, so I am going to declutter that and keep this one. And I think I'm going to declutter this one too. I keep going back and forth too, just because you get every single color of the rainbow in here. But to be honest, I only reach for this palette to get like the dark shades, and I have a lot of bright colors, so I think I am going to declutter this one as well. The Beauty Bay EYN, which is All You Need. I have all of these colors. Ooh, this color's really nice. Don't even think about it, Mariela. So this is what this drawer is looking like. So on to the third drawer. Okay, this is the start of my higher end, which I just saw I have a, well, I guess Violet Voss is high end, huh? Because I have a Violet Voss up here, so maybe I can move this with that one. But this is the Violet Voss. I'm not really sure. It just says 6 color eyeshadow pressed pigment palette. See? Ooh, you know what? I wonder if I can depot any of these. I bet you it's not even going to be easy to do. Because this is my kind of color story that I could travel with this. 3 of these I wouldn't use. I like this color because it feels pretty unique. But I think I'm going to keep both. I like them. I don't know. I'm just going to keep both, but I can travel with this. It's really cute and petite, so that one go right there. Okay, so I have a Melts Cosmetics Smoke Sessions. Definitely keeping. My shimmers are like crumbling, but it's really nice and really pigmented. This palette here is okay. It's not really my color story. I wish I had more mattes in here, lighter mattes. This is the Melt Cosmetics She's in Parties palette. You can tell I don't really reach for this palette. And I'm kind of thinking I should declutter it, to be honest. I'm going to put this in my maybe pile. It's an okay palette. I wish it had lighter shades in here. So yeah, I'm gonna put this in the maybe pile. Mel Cosmetics Gemini palette. I'm not getting rid of this. I'm gonna definitely keep it. Muerte palette. It was something a lot of people regretted not picking up, and this was the one I gravitated more towards than the Vida palette, but I do have both. This is again Melt Muerte, beautiful grungy color story, definitely not decluttering. And then Vida needs more love from me, but it's also a very beautiful palette, which I am definitely going to keep. Too Faced Pumpkin Spice. I really like this color story, and it's pretty nice and pigmented, so definitely keeping. Artist Couture Supreme Nudes. I'm not a big fan of the shimmer formula in here, to be honest. I feel like they're more on the drier side. They're not super reflective or anything, but I do like this palette, so I am going to keep it. Lunar Beauty Eternal Eclipse is beautiful, stunning. I love the shades in here. I love that it has some blues. I don't really use those very often, but I love the color story, and I believe this was gifted to me, yeah, from my friend for Christmas, and I love it, so I'm definitely keeping it. I also have Strawberry Dream, which I did kind of think to declutter. I don't think these can be depotted, huh? Because I would create like my perfect palette with, like, I like these shades in here. The shimmers are really nice. I received this one broken. I like it. I like the formula. Lunar Beauty is really good. And then I also have the Moon Spell palette by Lunar Beauty. Super nice and beautiful color story. Hopefully I've been in frame this whole time, but this is really nice. I think it's, whoa, a really wearable palette, to be honest. So I am going to keep that as well. Okay, Violet, well, this is Busy Art, not Violet Walls. Neutral Matte Milieu palette is beautiful. Definitely keeping. This is one of my favorite palettes in my collection. Sugar Pale Fun Size is really beautiful. I don't have very many like all matte pastel shades in my collection, so I am going to keep. Kylie Cosmetics. I think this is the Sort of Sweet palette. I actually liked this, but do I reach for it? Oh, no, not really. I think I'm going to declutter this. I think I'll be okay without it. Medium Nudes by Huda Beauty I actually really like. Definitely keeping. I thought I've debated on decluttering these. I got the 3 Obsessions because it's my family, my husband, myself, and my daughter. My birthday's actually on Tuesday, July 25th. When you guys see this, my birthday already passed. But I kind of keep them just for sentimental reasons, to be honest. Just because I bought them because of my family. Did I just break that? Ugh. Let's see. Damage is none. I wonder if I could like depot these, which I doubt. I doubt they're magnetic. Like only keep a few of the ones that I like and then like put them all together in one palette. You know what I mean? I don't really reach for these though, but I think I just want to keep them just because the reason behind why I bought them. So I'm going to keep these. ABH Norvina Volume 1 Mini. It's okay. I actually like the volume palettes a little bit more, so I think I'm going to declutter this. And then Huda Beauty Mauve Obsessions. This is cute. I think I'm going to keep it. I thought about decluttering. I keep going back and forth with that one, and I always intend to keep it. Young, Wild, and... Oh, this is not that. This is the Unleashed by Tarte. This formula is really nice, but I never reach for this palette. Are you guys gravitated towards Tarte? Because I'm not really. I think I want to keep it though, because I do think I would use most of the shades besides these two. Like, how wearable is this palette? It's really nice actually. So I'm going to keep it as well. The Naughty is super nice. Definitely keeping. I thought of decluttering this, and then I watched the palette collection and I'm like, it's actually really pretty. But honestly, I think I am going to just declutter it because it's nice, but I have all these shades everywhere else, and I only really reach for like these kinds of colors, and again, I have those shades everywhere else, so I'm going to declutter this. Desert Dusk is going, wow, but I'm definitely keeping the Naughty Nude. I really like this one. Okay, Lime Prime Venus XL is actually super nice, definitely keeping. Hopefully I've been in frame this whole time because I haven't been checking. And then the Greatest Hits. This one's okay, but I did get this around Christmas time, and I definitely want to keep using it. It's a pretty unique color story, to be honest. Okay, I have 2 Busy Art palettes, which this is the Paris Edit. This was also a gift from a friend. So this is why I kind of was thinking of decluttering Flutterby, because I have these two mauve toned palettes. There was a time where I was into mauve tones, but not anymore. I think I'm going to declutter Flutterby now, comparing it to this. Flutterby as well. And I'm going to keep this one. This one was gifted to me for my birthday one year. And then I also have the Dark Edit, which is super nice as well. This one needs more love from me, actually, but I do like it. This is the only stack I have from Melt Cosmetics. And it's actually really nice. Oh, wow. I need to dump this. Oh, no. I dropped it. And we just got new carpet. Well, it's not fresh, but it's pretty fresh carpet. Oh my gosh. This is the color story. I actually really like all of the colors, but I never reach for this palette. This stack. And then I also have this here too, which the colors are kind of similar. These two could be like those. This is kind of like that one. I think I'm going to declutter the baby girl stack and keep the Sassy Siennas. Yep. Wow, I'm getting rid of more stuff than I thought I would. So I'm keeping Sassy Siennas. I also have the Cutting Edge palette by Dose of Colors, which I actually really like, so I will keep this as well. And I kind of thought of decluttering the Baked Browns by Dose of Colors, which, if I was traveling, I don't know, this would be a good palette, but a lot of the time I like to put a shimmer on my lid, so I think I might declutter the Baked Brown. Yeah, decluttering. This one I dropped. I need to repress it. This was a good travel palette too. I am going to keep this. This is kind of like the remains of my Bronze and Cranberry palette, because some of the shades are in my gold palette. These three and these are, I'm not one to really change up my palettes. I don't like to move them around from their original color story of how I bought them, but I like this color story way more than the gold with all the browns. Again, like gold, these four and this one were in the gold palette, but I think I'm going to declutter this and keep this, to be honest, or because I felt like this browns were kind of similar to those two. Yeah, I think I can get rid of this and I'll just keep this one. Bronze palette by Natasha Denona isn't going anywhere, definitely keeping. The Sunset palette, ever since I got it, I wasn't really a big fan of the formula, so I might declutter this too. I think I'm okay with it. I haven't reached for it in a while, and the formula on this I felt like was different compared to the other Natasha Denona palettes I have, so I'm gonna declutter this one. Natasha Denona Triochrome palette. I love this palette, definitely keeping it. And then my last Natasha Denona palette is the blue purple palette. Definitely keeping. I really love the formula on this. This is a really great formula. Again, I'm not getting rid of this. Keeping. Okay, these are my Pat McGrath palettes. This one is the Eye Ecstasy Sublime, which I actually only really like this color right here. I think it's the most unique. These two, you guys, I've debated whether to keep or declutter multiple times. And I also have this one here. I wonder if I should only keep one and get rid of the other one. Or get rid of both. I've thought of getting rid of both. Okay, because I also actually have this one here. And I'm pretty sure I have most of those shades in this palette here. Let's see. So I have a gold over here. This one's more yellow though. This is a bronze color, which looks like that one. The dark purple kind of looks like this one. A silver, there's no silver, but this one kind of looks like this one here. And that color kind of looks like that one. So I think I can get rid of this. Yeah. It's gonna go. And I'm probably gonna keep this. Oh, let's compare it with this one now. Definitely don't have the mattes though. But I never reach for these palettes to be honest. This color is really pretty. I think I want to keep this though. This one's more wearable, so I'm going to keep this one and declutter this one. And then I'm going to keep both of these. This one is Mothership Divine Rose 2. And then this is the Mothership 5. They're really nice. I feel like the packaging's a little too bulky for me. I don't know if they are worth the price tag either, to be honest. I kind of like Natasha Denona formula a little better. But the shimmers are nice, but Natasha Denona formula is nice too. So, okay, my last palette drawer. Kaleidos Club Nebula is not going anywhere. All these are Kaleido palettes. This one's really fun, so I am going to keep that. I also really like this one here. I don't know if I'm going to get rid of any of my Kaleidos palettes. I think they're really good formula. This one I thought was okay, but I do like these, so we'll give it another chance. This one's the greens. Yeah, I definitely have so many like green palettes now. This one's really good, the Sushimi City one. It's kind of hard to open. This one's really nice for every day. And then this one, I probably could declutter some of these, but these were all gifted to me and I don't want to get rid of them, so I am going to keep them. Urban Decay Stone Vibes palette. I actually really like this palette. I had decluttered the Urban Decay Ultraviolet just because the formula is not all that amazing, but this was actually, the first ever palette I got from Urban Decay that was sent to me in PR, so I kind of have a sentimental from them, so I'm going to keep this. The Stone Vibes was also sent to me. What I'm going to declutter is the Urban Decay Born to Run. I don't really reach for it. I have all of these mattes and I don't really use these kinds of shades, so I feel like half of the palette I won't use and I don't use, so I am going to declutter that. I'm getting rid of more palettes than I thought, you guys. I think I'm going to be back down to 120 something after this declutter. This is the Escape Pod by Kaleidos. I actually really like it. I dropped the clear thing. I need to use this more. It needs more love. I think it's really fun and I do like it, so I'm going to keep that too. Jeffree Star Thirsty palette. I always go back and forth whether to keep it or not, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and declutter it. I always end up keeping it because I really like these shades, but I have this Sassy Sienna's palette. The shimmers, they're nice, and I rarely ever use these colors, so I'm just going to get rid of this. Jawbreaker, I actually think is pretty cool. I don't want to get rid of it. I already paid my money on this, so I am just going to keep it. I like it. I keep going back and forth with Conspiracy as well. I don't really buy stuff from Jeffree Star Cosmetics anymore, but I already spent my money on this and I thought of decluttering it, but then I opened it up and I'm like, this is actually a really pretty color story. I thought of depotting the shades in here and using them to freelance because it has like a lot of wearable colors with a few pops here and there. But I think I'm going to keep this. I do like the palette. I wish it wasn't so bulky though. And I also have Blood Sugar, which I don't really reach for these shades a lot either. I kind of feel like I could declutter this, but I don't know. I don't really reach for this, to be honest. You can tell. Ooh, I wonder if I should declutter it. You guys, am I gonna declutter it? I'm kind of doing comparisons. I feel like some of these shades are pretty similar to shades in here. I kind of wish they were magnetic, you know, so you can just kind of take the colors you really want and then get rid of the bulky packaging. Ooh, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna put this in the maybe pile, you guys. Wow, I'm actually surprised on that one. Certified Affinity Palette. You guys, this is hit and miss for me. I kind of wanted to keep it just because of this is the only palette I have from the brand. This is the Affinity palette. Did I say that? The purples are kind of patchy in here, but I'm gonna keep it because I want to give it another chance and then I'll decide whether I want to keep it or not. This one right here, Desi Times Katie Francation. I kind of was thinking of decluttering this, but now that I'm looking at it, I like these colors a lot. Ooh, I just barely touched that and it felt pretty creamy. I'm gonna keep it. I was thinking about decluttering, honestly. KK Beauty. I think I'm gonna declutter this and probably put it in my freelance kit. I just have all these shades and it's not like a formula that I'm like in love with or anything. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. This one I'm also gonna get rid of, the Uma Beauty Carnival palette. I never reach for it, and yeah, I never reach for it. So I'm gonna get rid of this. I kind of regret buying this, to be honest. I wonder if I should do a palettes I regret buying. Yeah, I should, huh? Ace Beauty Grandiose palette. I like this palette. I was thinking about decluttering it too, but I like it. I have these colors everywhere, huh? I keep saying that. I think I want to keep it. Okay, this one right here, I think it's beautiful. But this purple is so patchy. But I kind of don't want to get rid of it. I remember I was like, oh, I should declutter it because it's patchy. But it's actually really nice. A nice color story. I think I'm going to keep it too. This one I always go back and forth, but I think I'm just going to get rid of. This is the Classical Paradise. Ace Beauty Nostalgia palette. This is newer to me, so I will keep this. Oceanic is really nice, very unique. Definitely keeping. Warm Neutrals Volume 2. I actually like when I use it, but I never reach for it. And actually, they changed the packaging on this. It's more of the longer packaging, kind of like this. Like, again, I always want to declutter it, but then I don't. And I kind of want to keep it, so I am. This MAC palette was gifted to me, but I don't like it. It's really dry. The formula is really dry, so I'm going to get rid of it. Tati Beauty Volume 1. This one's really nice. I wish it didn't have, like, the sequin and the mattes kind of are similar with just, like, a slight shimmer. I wish it didn't really have that row, or maybe, like, a lighter version of those shades. But I am going to keep it. And Be Perfect Carnival 3, I'm definitely going to keep. This is really good formula, and I really, really like it. Latte 2 by Dominique Cosmetics. I really like her formula. I'm going to keep. Berries and Cream is newer to me. I'm going to keep. Celestial Storm. I'm actually going to declutter. I never use this, so I'm gonna go. Queen of Hearts by Colored Rain's actually really, really good as well. I rarely use it, but when I do, I'm always impressed with the formula. So I am going to keep this. Master Palette by Mario is actually pretty nice. It's still pretty pigmented, so I'm going to keep that. I'm also going to keep the ABH Soft Glam palette. I'm not a super big fan of the ABH formula, to be honest. It's kind of like too powdery for my liking, but the shimmers in this one, this is a Sultry, is super, super nice. I'm going to definitely keep this one. The Jackie Aina palette's actually really pretty and formula super nice. Definitely keeping. Subculture, I keep going back and forth whether to keep or declutter, and I think I am just going to declutter it. Yeah or no? What do you think, Mariela? Let me see. I never use it. I like these tones over here, but I have those shades in like ColourPop palettes, and I also have Club Nebula, which has those shades, right? Should I declutter it? Should I? I don't know. I'm gonna put it in the maybe pile. Last 3 palettes, you guys. I have 2 more ABH, but this is the only P. Louise palette I have. This is the Secret Center palette. I rarely reach for it. It's so bulky. I need to use it, but the packaging, oh my gosh, you guys, this is crazy. It's too big. It's really nice, though, so I'm going to keep it. That was a gift. And then the ABH Norvina palette. Let's see. This is really pretty. I really like it. And then this one's a volume 1. This one's volume 3. And this one's volume 1. Let me see. Purple. Do I have a dark purple in here? Not really. To be honest, the only time I reach for that Classical Paradise palette is for the purples. And I actually have a lot of purples in here. And I think I am gonna just end up decluttering this one here. I really like the colors, the purples. But I have other purples I like. This one was super patchy on me, and I rarely use these shades up here, and I have these everywhere else. So I'm gonna get rid of this palette here as well. I think I'm gonna declutter this one as well, just because I do like the Ace Beauté formula, but I have like the Carnival 3 that I could be using instead. It's a nice palette, but I'm gonna declutter this. I'm also going to declutter my Urban Decay Ultraviolet. Just, yes, it was gifted to me, but honestly, I'm not gonna use this palette. So I kind of don't want to keep palettes I'm not gonna use. So now that I'm putting them back into my collection, I'm like, oh, you're not gonna use this. So I think I'm just gonna declutter this because I had already decluttered it and then I put it back in my collection. I might just give this to my mom. She likes to use shadows on her lids. She's not one to do a smoky eye or anything, a creased lid, outer corner shade. She just uses one color on the lids, and I think this will be nice for her. So I'm going to give this to her. My drawers have space in them. They're not like overly crowded like they were. So that's good, right? I can probably put all these maybe palettes in one drawer, but I kind of like that I can see everything I have. I decluttered a lot, you guys. I'm actually really surprised. And a lot of the palettes that I do have, I like and like using. So I kind of pretty much decluttered stuff that I'm like not really into. So that's good. And I only kept what I wanted to keep. Maybe. I still have a few more actually. Okay, so Subculture by ABH. Let me move it up. Subculture by ABH. I think it's really nice, but I always have issues when I use this palette. And I never reach for it. I kind of want to keep it though. So I will keep it another round, and if next time, I'm most likely going to do another declutter by the end of the year. If I don't use it, then it will go. So we'll put this back with its family over here. This looks nice. Blood Sugar by Jeffree Star, you guys. I never use this. You can tell, like, it's barely even used. I think I'm gonna declutter this. I like this color. I like that color. I like this color. I think I'm gonna declutter this, you guys. I never reach for it. And I have so many, like, colorful palettes. This formula is super nice. Even that one doesn't even look like it's been used. All these shades don't look used. These don't look used. I don't know. I want to keep it, but I don't use it. So I think I'm gonna declutter this. This may be something that comes back into my collection. We'll see. The All That palette. I might keep the packaging, and I don't know. I feel like I don't need this though. I really like the packaging though. I think I might use some of these shades for the other two ColourPop palettes, so it'll be a declutter. Mel Cosmetics She's in Parties is one I definitely regret buying. I think I'm gonna do a palettes I regret buying video. You can tell. I think I'm gonna declutter this too. I never use it, so it's going. I sound so sad, huh? And then the Deuce by Juvia's Place, I've thought of decluttering multiple times, and then I keep it, and then I think I should just let it go because I'm just gonna end up keeping it and I'm not gonna use it. So I'm gonna declutter this too. So overall, the palettes I decluttered, let me count real quick, or let me show you guys actually. They're all over here. Let me count real quick. I decluttered 39 palettes, you guys. Wow. 39 palettes. I did not think I was going to declutter that many, but my drawers look so good now, huh? Yeah. Definitely check out my Poshmark. Some of these will be in my Poshmark, and then I was going to try to sell some locally, but I always try to sell local first, and then I feel weird because people can see how much like I'm getting rid of. So definitely check out my Poshmark if you guys are interested. It will be my username is down below. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please also subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you all. Actually, I missed one. How many did I say? I don't know how many I said, but plus one more. I think I said 39, no? 40? I don't even know. But plus the Urban Decay one. So yeah, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye.